Hey, yeah, welcome. I hope you all can see the screen. And I want to go over totally what happened in Baba, right? And after that, we'll take one or the other two stocks and see what is the current situation. Okay. So this is a Baba daily. Before even going to the daily, let's see. Uh, yeah, let's see like on a weekly basis what happened. So if you see that the video, the earlier video that I said, basic things like a moving average, RSI, and MACD. MACD also here. MACD is a short-term and long-term divergence. So if you see, this is a weekly chart. The trend of BABA was like totally down. It started from 2021, earlier 2021. Now throughout 2021, most of the time, it was not able to clear even the 20-day EMA. It tried one time, it fell. And after the slope was so bad that it is going down. And after that, like in May or June, because of the overall market rally, it tried to rally a little bit. And again, a serious plunge. And only in November, you see, like it went to the, like I was always telling, if it is like a little bit of fight up and down, the fight is still going on here. Like bulls are pushing it up, bears are pushing it down, bulls are pushing it up, bears are pushing it down. But at one point, they were able to push totally down that there is a lot of divergence even between the 20-day EMA. The 20-day was like a close enough to the price, all this area. But at some point it is given up. That means even the 20-day was like a too much for the 20-day was like something like 85 and the stock went almost like a 63, 65. And that week everybody saw, like it is it's a too much. Let me take a small position. What's going to be totally wrong, right? So that's when it started, and then it started picking up all the white candles you see. So it is picking up. So in the weekly chart, it gave a nice buy signal around this point when it recaptured the 20-day, and again it lost a little bit, but again it is able to recapture in a minute. So here it is kind of fighting again, and the trend of the 20-day line, which was going down, is flattish now. So this happened after a long time. Like this here it happened. So after that, there is a momentum is shifted towards the upside. So this is a overall story, right? It is a journey. The stock is a journey on a day-to-day basis, weekly basis, on a monthly basis. So even if you look at the monthly basis, what happened in the long term? This is on a monthly basis. So it's like a strong every month. It's not even a week. The whole month it is going down, 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 down. So right after that 2000. So once see here, this is a perfect trend. Like every month it is going up. Like you hold it, it went all the way to 206. Now throughout the 2017, it is like a 1 year uptrend. And after the 1 year uptrend, it is like a 1 year, 6 months sideways, and then a downtrend. And then this is a 6 months sideways and
కొంచెం కాలాలి
6 months up.
కాలాలి
And again, like since it went like almost 2 years sideways, then it got that momentum to pick up and it went up here. This is a core.
ఆగరా కోకో అన్నయ్య పెడతాను
So this let me mute all of see. Okay. So this kind of trend is what we will be observing. Like once after that, you see this monthly is like a sharp downtrend. And then now it is kind of picking up. Now we want to see the monthly. Can it go and recapture that 170, 200? I think the once monthly is flat, it is not easy for the monthly to be like going up and down. It won't make like a zigzag moves because it's like a monthly line. It will be like a slow and steady. So once you see the flattish kind of a monthly line, that means after a big downtrend, it says the downtrend is over. Then the flattish line will be is a signal that the trend is changing. And once the trend is changing, then there is like a upside. So that this is like a beautiful thing that we need to capture. Like every stock has what we call we have to see the buy point and where we should exit and where we should buy. Okay, so in this case, you see this is like a monthly, like this is a nice, it turned this side, so it is nothing but this, the trend is super strong. So the monthly line is up. So this is anywhere here, here, you buy it. Once after the breakout of this 109, it started going up. So these kind of things, like if you see that line, it is not able to cross, and here it is overextended because like I said, the distance, it is out of balance. Even on a monthly line, it is out of balance. The line itself is telling that 220 is the support. The stock was trading around 390. So that means there is like a $120 difference. So that difference is filled up immediately. And after that, stock was thinking, okay, once it got the support, let me see, I can try to go up. It is not able to clear the previous month's high. So once this month, the month is what is this month here? This is the month, the Jan 2021. The Jan 2021 is not able to clear the December 2020. That means it started saying there is not much momentum. And once this line is given up, it tried like a 3-4 months to see if it can again come and capture the price. It did not do. So this is like a monthly. We have to see like a monthly how the stock is going to perform. Looks like the monthly flattish is coming, which is a good sign. And once the monthly, then it is a weekly is the next time frame. So the next time frame weekly is like the EMA. The red one is the 50-day. The 20-day EMA crossed the red one, right? So this is a good sign that this is flattening, and this crossed here, and this is going to cross here. On top of it, like I was telling about the CTM, which is a we have a Chanded Trend Meter. I don't know if we have it in another thing, but I'll try to see and get back to you. This is on a stock charts. So it entered the red zone here. So it tried to go out, go. Here it entered the red zone again. So this red zone, it exited the red zone here, this point, which is here, and but still it did not go all the way to the green. So that means once it did not go all the way to the green, and the candle was showing like kind of a reversal. Oh, you know what? There can be some pullback, but we saw a big pullback. And once we saw the big pullback on a weekly, and again the candle started going up from last 2 weeks. So here, if it can go all the way to the green, that means the stock can clear all this and stay like around 120. It can even clear this. This is like a high resistance zone. So you're basically diagnosing. You diagnose like a doctor. How is the BP? How is the sugar? How is the heart functioning? Right. Every part is diagnosed. Like here, we see the price. Oh, it is not able to create 120, 120, 120, 120. This is 130. This price is like a lot of resistance here. So at the resistance levels, how is the RSI looking? RSI is not able to go to the green, which is a weak. Is RSI going to the deep oversold? Not really, but it is kind of going there. So which means it will find a support. It is not going to crash, but it is not able to clear. That means this is like it established a range here. The range is big, which is like 75 to 120, but most of the prices are between 80 and 100. So it is like 80 and 100 is such a big such a like a channel that it established for itself from almost like Feb, the start of Feb to 2 months, almost 1.5 months. So now it has to clear this zone. So in the meantime, why it is like not able to go up? But if you see the indicators, The reason was this is like going down. This trend line is going down. This trend line is going down. So it wants these two trend lines to flattish and then dollop to the upside. So in the this will take about 6 months or 4 months or whatever it is. So till that time, it is going to act as, I'm going down, I'm going up, I'm going down, I'm going up, but it is not able to clear that zone. So in the meantime, the all the like all the resistance or all the RSI should pick up. The MACD should come above this line, the midline, which is zero. So this is basically like you have a patient, and the patient started recovering. So when he starts recovering, it is not like immediately they get a strength. So they need like a recovery period of three months or 3 weeks or 3 years. It depends on the severity of the disease, right? So once after that the recovery period is over, then you started seeing the strength. So it won't happen like a V. It's most likely like the price looks like a V here. From here to here it is V, but it is again not V. So this is what happens in the stock. So in the meantime, like since it is not as confident look in all other indicators, then what we see is like, okay, I got this price, I'm going to sell here, sell here. And I got this price, I'm going to sell here. So till that lines are flattish. So once the line started going up, then you can buy and hold, and that is like a beautiful period of 6 months where you get uh, a nice return. And opposite also true. When the trend line is low, it is going down, you cannot hold it. Like if you hold it here, like in June 2021, and by the time April 2022, the stock is like the trend line is so strongly going down, so you're going to lose a lot of money here. So if you hold it in the holding period is a downtrend, the losses are high. If the holding period is uptrend, the gains are high. If the holding period is sideways and you're holding it, not buying and selling, then it is frustrated. Like you bought it at this price in like here, November, it still did not come to that price, right? So this is mostly like a sideways period. So we have to see if it is a downtrend or a sideways or uptrend. So how the indicators are doing, so that is when you have to make a trading decision. So your trading decisions are basically like, what price I can buy, how the stock is looking on a monthly time frame, on a weekly time frame, and after that you can start saying that, okay, let daily time frame, how is it looking? So once in a daily time frame, you see that this is a bigger picture. From here you can go by the MACD. Oh, it crossed here. See, the MACD crossed here, like I noted in 2 weeks ago. So once it started, the blue line started here, the traders immediately, it came out of the oversold position. Immediately people started buying, so it is going up. So here the main thing is we have to see the other indicators that I want to come up with here is a CTM, is a trend meter. So the trend meter is flattish here. And again, it is not showing any signs of going into red, which is a good thing. Now, in this case, it is not able to go to the green. So I want this to go to the super green. The super green is where you will see once it starts entering that super green, from this period to this period, you see the gains are super high. Like here, you enter here and you exit here. So it is like it's a nice, easy, and short-term gains. So that is the CTM and MACD. The another thing I want to see is slow stop. There is a SCTR line. I'll discuss that as well. And there is a slow stop. Is it not coming? See the volume on this bar here. Once people saw that the MACD is looking good, there's a huge volume. That means everyone is looking at this chart, but they are not making a buying decision. So they make a buy decision once this 20-day support is coming. And beauty about the SCTR I'll discuss later. And this is a slope. I don't want to overcomplicate with the slope here. Just say no. Okay, this is a slow stop. And I like another thing which is very good one is ADX. The slow stop is, this is a green line. The level is 20 here and the level is 80 here. So if any stock, the slow stop is below 20, you have to avoid. So it entered below 20 here. This is the time that we need to avoid this one. So we have to see when it is coming out of the 20, right? So this is like a tough period. Here, this is like a tough period. So once it comes out of 20, you can add it here and you have to exit once this, the black line, this is for a short term, right? Once you have to exit, this is for a short, the black line cross red. The another thing is you don't have to exit as long as it is above 80, So the good things happen when it is above 80 and stay above 80. So this period is where what you get a good things happening in the market, especially for the stock. And once it crosses that below 80, that means it is losing that strength. It is like, the stock is running and it got a fresh energy. So once it has a fresh energy, then the traders will come and buy, the stock will go up. Once the energy is gone, then there is no point in holding. There are so many short-term people or short-term indicators they watch. They slowly come out of the stock, and when they coming out of the stock will become very weak. Very weakening the time. So once that weakening process starts, sometimes it may stop here and then start recovering again. But the only thing is, unless and until the major gains you have to see is, oh, it went through a big correction in this period. See the time here from 1st of Feb to 20th of March, almost like a 50 days. It was in a penalty zone. So that 50 days is when you got a severe pain from here to here. So it came out of that pain, and that is when the people started buying. Now it is above the 80, and the good thing about this at this time is it directly went from oversold to directly to the overbought. So it has got that much of this, the strength hidden inside, and all of a sudden it got it. Now there may be some kind of like pullback. It will come to 97, 98, like a week or so or something. It might happen. And again, since everything is looking good, it will try for the next target. So the next target is there is a gap here. Usually the stock fills the gap. So this gap gets filled, which means 117. And the probability wise, I'm telling, okay, it is not that it is going to happen, but looks like it might happen, right? So if we get any negative news on the China or the company specific negative news, it again loses the strength and all the indicators will turn back to the downside. So that is how we have the overall period. If you are a short-term trader, look at, there is always a good thing to look at the monthly or weekly at least, and then come to the daily. If the weekly is looking better, then take a daily decision, which means even though if you are wrong, the stock may not go down because there is a weekly support. But if the weekly trend is wrong, like here, You can make a short-term decision here also. Like, oh, I can buy here, I can sell here. So this is also very good, like a 140 to 180, like $40, right? But weekly is going down. So you think, oh yeah, I got 180. Why can't I wait for 200? No, the weekly is going down. So you better be hurry to exit here. In this case, you don't, even though you don't exit, it may just pull back a little bit. But if the weekly trends are very bad, the pullback will be sharp. So when it is a sharp, you lose all the gains that you make and you make even more losses. In this case, even if you're wrong, like if you're holding and the stock is pulling back, it has got multiple supports here. So, so the time frame wise, your decision should be based on the indicators here. Oh, it's a still weak stock on a weekly basis, but it has got some strength or some good prices on the daily basis. So that kind of analysis is needed if you want to make any trading decisions based on your time frame. So is it long term? Even if it is a long term, you are not supposed to buy in this at all, because the long term, I'm telling you, if the trend is bad, like if you are buying here in April until this April, you're almost like losing a lot of money. So because the trend is bad, so determine the trend here based on the price movement and the moving averages. And then for the short-term decisions, uh, look at the slow store here. And the another thing I want to talk about is the ADX. The ADX is a beautiful, it gives you both negative trend, positive trend, and the strength of the trend, which means here the black line is a trend line, green is a positive, red is a negative. So if the green line crosses that red line and it is going up, that means the trend is positive. So once the trend is positive here, the black line is a trend line. The trend tells you whether, in this case, even though the green is crossing red and red is crossing green, it is like a sideways, it is both are fighting each other, right? It's not a strong trend. So in this case, it is telling nobody is a winner. It is like you have Australia India match. Uh, you don't see like a clear winner. So this is that kind of a situation here. Like here, it is like India versus Zimbabwe or something. Oh, I see like a clear winner is India. So the trend is strong. So the gains are very strong when this black line is going up. And the black line goes all the way up. It becomes like a FOMO. This is a FOMO point because the black line is crossed even the green line. So if you see this line crossing here, oh man, the FOMO is developing in the stock. It does not mean that it will crash next day. The FOMO can stay for like a weeks or even a month. So the FOMO is peak here and the FOMO is coming down here. So if you let's go and see the price here, right? See here, this is a FOMO price, like fear of missing. So this price, it started from here. So from here, the stock is telling you have to exit anytime or keep a stop loss because this is a FOMO. So then it started pulling back strongly because the trend has become so weak. So that FOMO went away. And once the FOMO went away, the stock price is coming down and the slow story is showing that, get out of here. You're already in a FOMO zone and the slow story is weak. So you have to get out of here. And MACD is telling that get out of here. So you have a lot of time here to get out, even with some losses. And after that, it should not, if it is a good stock, it should not go below zero here. It's better to be above zero. So it went even below zero, which means from positive to super positive, it became like a negative and super negative. So that is like an extreme. Like it is usually what happens is the stock is a sideways and becomes a positive and super positive, then it comes back onto the sideways. But in this case, from super positive trend to the super negative trend, so all things develop like very bad. And this is on a technical side. But what was happening on the fundamental side? The Chinese president was, against the tech stocks, and we have so much of other. Yeah, we need to have a premium account. I'm just telling. You can actually see even without a premium account, but only thing is you can see only two indicators at a time. You can see all the indicators, but only thing is you cannot have like a multiple indicators at a time. At the same time, the chart is very small, and also it is a black and white. It is not a color. So if you want all the features, it is like a $15 or $12 or something. You get a basic thing. Go to stockcharts.com, you'll get it. So this is what happened in the stock. So if we take the similar example, uh, let's take with what is the other stock. You guys have any stock that you want me to look for, or I can pick something? Okay, Google. Yeah, good one. Okay, here, what happened in Google, right, on a weekly basis? Let's go on a monthly basis first. This is such a monthly basis. Such a nice trend, slow, steady going up, slow, steady going up. Even though there is a dip, the line was like sloping upside. So here, at some point, it went into monthly RSI is on green, and this is like a FOMO price. If you see, and if you see, this is on a monthly basis. It was able to stay. The black was able to stay above all this. This has become like a too extreme here, and that is when you saw this is coming down. On the monthly basis, it crossed. MACD is crossed, so the trend is clearly changed to the downside. And let's see on a weekly basis what happened. So weekly is good enough. Monthly is like for a Warren Buffett, like he looks for monthly maybe, but for weekly basis is good enough. But monthly is better to look at it. So here you see the weekly chart. It is like the trend is super good. That means which is going up all the way up. So even though there is a pullback, yeah, the trend is up. I'm not going to sell here. So the more time you hold it, the more it was going up. And at this point on a weekly, it has flattened here. Once you see the flat lining here, you know that it is not easy to go up. So it is like a same say sideways for like August to March, almost 6 months. After 6 months of struggle, it gave up. You know what? I'm not going to fight. I'm negative. I lost my strength. And that's when this is still, even though it is like on a bumpy going up, going down. So now you see the flattening here. Now you see this is a nice flattening, from negative trend to the sideways trend it has become. So in the meantime, the stock is going up and down and up and down till these indicators are turning up. So maybe at some point here also is good thing is that the 200-day weekly is this one. 200-day weekly is such a powerful support. This is like a 4-year support. Okay, so anything below 200-day weekly is a good buy. Even though it went down, it's a good buy here because it is below 200-day weekly and a strong stock, so it goes up. So now the 20-day EMA is the going up, and this is turning. So it still might take like a week or two, but I see what I see here. The MACD is crossing over. This red line was above the green line, which means a negative trend. So finally it crossed here, but this is like a struggle. But here it is a clear crossing of the red to the green on ADX. And here MACD is looking good, even though it is trying to come down, but it really picked up the strength. On the slow stow also, like it is not able to go below 20 here on a weekly. So which means I'm not going to go like a super weak. So it's going up. So once it crossed that 80 and stay above 80, so that is when again a good things might start. So if you look at a daily chart, right, on a daily basis, it already entered the green here, the super green here. So the daily it gave a, if you are looking for a short term, this is where it crossed upside. MACD is a very good point to enter here. So which is nothing but here. So this line is very good. Like 94 is a good price here to buy, and it started picking up. So this is cross, this is cross. So we see so much of like multiple indicators showing the strength here. At the same time, the price is acting well. The price wise, there is a resistance here. You see this price, it is falling, it is falling. So when the trend line is going down, there is no strength in the price. That means it may stay for 1 or 2, 3 days, it will fall. So because this line is going down, so you have to see all the lines staying flat or staying trying to go up. So that is when you get the real strength in the stock. So the good thing with real strength in the stock is even though you buy and you're wrong, you'll not get much losses. Okay, so that's very good thing. That means you make a buy decision at 101, it went to 106, it fell, but it is not going below 101. But in this case, you bought it, let's say 100, it went to 105, but there is no strength, it immediately dropped. So there is a risk here if the trend is wrong, if the trend is bad. So you don't have that risk here. So the overall market, the risk has come down with all the trend lines flattening. I will look at the SPY also. So we have to see SPY. Finally, you see that the 50-day was going down here, and finally it started recovering. And 20-day is like on the upside here. It was going down here, and finally the 200-day moving average is, which is this line. It never crossed 200-day moving average till this point, till November. Even though it crossed in November, again it fell back. And January 24th is when it is successfully crossed the 200-day moving average. So that means there is a strength, real strength came in here. So once it crossed, now this time, in this time, the lines are all below, so there is no strength in this. So it immediately fell. But in this case, all these lines are above 200-day moving average. That means, the sequence, right? The 50-day should be above the 200-day, 200-day should be above the 425. So that is like a good trend. The bad trend is like the 200-day is first, and then the 50-day, 20-day, and then that is a bad trend. So here it is a good trend because the 200-day is below, and the 50-day is above, and 20 days EMA is like picking up the speed to take it above. So it is going here, and top of it you have the MACD crossover. It is telling there is no strength in the trend, but here it just finally able to cross. And at the same time, if you see, there is a clear breakout of the green line, and we are still in a no trend line zone. That means this black line is here, right? It is below all the blue, all the green and red. What this tells you is this trend is still sideways, which is a good thing, because from sideways to uptrend, like it develops a FOMO, right? So it may develop a FOMO if the trend is staying strong. So once it develops some kind of a FOMO, the trend line becomes like this. So if it is able to cross the trend line above here, let's say after 3 months or 4 months or 5 months, if it is after 2 months or 3 months, if it is crossing and coming back above somewhere here or here, usually it comes here or here. So if it comes, then you might see even like a 450 on SPY. So it can happen because it can show some signs. But in the meantime, if this is not able to stay above this line and it falls immediately, the trend will stay like a sideways for another 3 months, 6 months, or maybe till October, who knows, So we don't know at this point, but the risk is less here. Risk is less in the sense there is like a multiple supports here. 399 is one support, 397 is one support, 394 is one support, 398 is one support. So you see multiple supports here. So every pullback at the support zone, there is like buyers coming and buying the stock. So which is a very good thing that your losses will be limited. So that is why the things changed from here when it was almost like falling. It immediately recovered, which is a positive sign. So if we did not recover here, all these lines would have come here. So now these lines have able to show a proper trend. So this is about this, ADX line where you have to see this line below all of them, and it crossed perfectly. And on a next pullback, let's say if it is coming down and staying there for 390 or 400, 450, 405, and in the meantime the trend lines are becoming flat, that can take the stock to upside. So take the overall market to the upside. So what happens is underneath this, the S&P, there are many rotations taking place, right? So that is why you make, even though the SPY is not like going to go super high, you will have like a energy taking place in place of technology in place of communications, all these things, which is XLC is another one, which is a communications XLC sector. I think Netflix, Amazon, and all this will be there. So it is like a nice trend. You see that CTM, it is not even going to the red. It fell, it stayed, made a U-turn, and again it is going to green. So this is in a nice trend. Like you see these trend lines. So for us, the basic thing is we have to understand where I can buy, where I can sell, and where I can buy, where I can sell. So how do you find the buy and sell? Okay. So that point you have to see where you can buy and where you can sell. You have to make a buy decision and sell decision. So you make a buy decision here, it went up, still the trend lines are down, so the risk is high. You make a buy decision here, or you make a buy decision here, it went up, even though it fell, it is not going down and it is able to recover fast because the trend lines are up. So this trend line is up. So that is one thing. So you have to remember how much to buy, when to buy, what price to buy, what is a good price to buy and exit, what is your time frame for buying and selling. Is it like a month or swing trade or long term? If it is a long term, I just want to add few on a full back. If it is a short term, I want to enter at some point of a strength, and then I want to exit when there is a resistance. So you have to figure out the supports and resistance. So first thing, and then you have to make a buy decision, and you have to go by your position sizing. Is it 5% of allocation or 7% of allocation? And once you buy, then you have to monitor, looking at okay, how is it? Even is there some bad news or something? So it's like that. So here, somebody is asking how to find a rotation. See, you have to follow the ETFs, and I'll tell you one thing. The stock charts, if you go, you can actually look into the ETF sector summary. So you see the sector summary here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 12 sectors right now in the market, and mostly in the S&P. First is the technology, communication, industrial, materials, consumer staples, energy, discretionary, health, utilities. And so what I do is like SCTR. The SCTR is high, which is like a ranking. So the technology has a highest ranking here, 97. And this week, the financials has the lowest ranking, which is 7.4. Okay. So now if you see this 7.4 number picking up to 40, in a week or two, that means this is gaining the strength. So at one point utilities were like a 90, now they became a 30. XLK was like a 20 or 15, now it became like a 97. Okay, so if I open this XLK, you can actually see the XLK here. Look at the SCTR here ranking. It gives the SCTR analyzes all the technical analysis and it tried to give the strength ranking to the industry. So here it was like at one January 19th, it is like a 10. Now it has become 97. So when it started going up, that is when the rotation is happening. So here, this is like a rotation. Here, it is like a rotation out of it. So here there is no indication of, like it tried to come to 60 but it fell, and the ranking is going down. So in this period you have to look at the MACD and you have to look at all other charts and see what is happening. So that can give you an idea. But if you constantly follow the sectors here, oh, the ranking for technology is 97.5. Let's say for some reason it comes below 90, then there is some profit booking in the technology sector. And when it is coming below 90, at that time, if you see this is going up, like real estate or financials or utilities, oh, then there is a strength in this sector. So you have to. So what happens is, like in a year, this can go like a 3 months, 4 months strong, and this can stay. Every sector can stay like a 2 or 3 months strong. So for a best, what I would say is, if you want a good deal, you're getting in this sector because the strength is very low, 7.4. Here the prices went up already. So if you want to buy for long term, maybe the financial sector is the one that you get a better prices, right? Utilities is the real estate is sector is the XLRE is the next one, and XLB there is a so that is the thing, and XLV is the healthcare sector, and XLY is this one. So XLB is the materials. So materials also looking good. Communication is the next strong sector. So the other thing is what sectors are on top now? Technology sector, communications, and industrial, which is a good thing. If we have utilities as a top sector, that is like a very defensive. I'll show you that utilities. XLU. Why do people buy utilities, right? There is always the sentiment is always like if everybody has money, if market is good, everybody wants to buy a biotech or technology or communications or something like that. Nobody wants to buy utilities. But at some point, utilities is very stronger sector than other sectors, right? Which means market is crashing. Here you see the 2020, last year 2022, utilities was a top sector here most of the time. That is when the severe correction in the stocks taken place, because people are hiding in the utilities. Oh, you know what? I don't want to buy the technology stocks, so that is why it went up. So when the utilities came down by 25th Jan to sector, this is like a beautiful indication. See, utilities is like this rating has come to 5. That means if you buy the stocks on 23rd Jan 2023, that's a very good prices very good trend you got it on technology. So we don't want utilities to cross above 50. If it is going above 50 means there is again some kind of a market is worrying about some like some kind of correction. Utilities going to 90 is very rare, because if you go on weekly and see on utilities, See, it was never constantly above. Only during this period of COVID, it went up a little bit. But after that, immediately when the utilities are coming down, the stock market go up. When the utilities strength is coming down, the stock market go up. So the utilities are not a good sign for the market if they are going up. That means there is a lot of defensiveness in the market. So right now again it is trying to make some kind of a upward, which I don't like it. It has to stop and come down if it is making a new lows, which is even like right now it is like the last week was a better week for the utilities. But if it breaks below 60, that's when you get a very good rally again. But I doubt that because the utility is looking a little bit better now. But its technology is still remaining the strong. So that is one of the ways to identify the market strength. So which sector is leading, which sector is not leading. So the energy sector is 65, which is actually a good price now. So the consumer discretionary should pick up. So this is another one, that XLY. Amazon and Tesla are sitting in this sector. So that is why we want to see the XLY pick up. Then there is like less risk in the market. So but it's looking a bit weak here. Consumer staples is still strong. So we don't want the consumer staples to be like stronger than XLY. The healthcare is the other sector, like usually it is a strong sector. It's right now weak. So the technology is holding up, and the technology is singing single-handedly. It is able to take the market upside. The recent market. Okay. Yeah, XLY is good one to buy. XLF is a good one to buy here. Because just remember, right? If there is a severe problem in the banking, everything will collapse. Okay, so this has to pick up strength. There is no way that the XLF is like collapsing and all the banks are collapsing and everything else is going up. So that is not going to happen. Yeah, this needs a premium account to look into this. I think this is not expensive. I think you can look at stockcharts.com. You can get basic membership for $10 or $12, I guess. So XLF is a good one to buy as well. But the only thing with the ETFs you have to understand is you don't get like too much of a return. Even if you buy an Nvidia, you might get 100% return. But if you take XLK, it's hardly a 20% return. Okay, so you will not get a big returns in ETF. At the same time, they are like better if you want to only play the swing on the ETFs is a good thing to do. XLF, if I see now what is happening in XLF. See, this is on a weekly 200 days or 200 week support, which is like almost 4 year support. Okay, so which is a very good price for XLF if we want to buy here for long term. And here, if you see on a daily basis, MACD crossover here, which is a good sign. SCTR will be weak. SCTR will pick up everything when it is already up. So you might lose a good gains if you actually follow SCTR, but it will give you a safe price. Right? When it is 90, you buy it, and when it is 85, you sell it. That's a good thing. You'll not make a lot of money, but your losses are very, very minimal on SCTR. See here, the slow slow is coming down, and the trend was super negative because the negative red line went all the way up, and it is coming down. So we want to see the cross of the green to the red, and that's when even better things can happen. Okay. On XLF. But it is not a bad price to buy here because it is already at 32. Now it is 30 was the low, and it almost reached the 30 low. We check the prices here. So when it is at 30, there is a very good support here because since last year, this is only the third time it's coming, and this time it is even better prices than the last time. So the XLF is for long term it is good. The trend is still weak. Trend lines are still going down. Even though it is try to go up, but it will fall. I think it will. We have to see that kind of a flattening in the trend. So that is how you analyze multiple buy and sell points on a stock based on, first you have to identify the trend, how the weekly, monthly is looking, and then you have to identify the trend on a short-term basis, how it is looking, and then you have to identify where is the better price and where is the support, and then you have to identify where is the exit price to sell for short term. So in the meantime, you have to follow your own account, like how much cash is in my account, how much I can take a bet on this stock, and all that. So if you look at Tesla, it tells you this is a strong downtrend, but it is out of balance price. The price is good even though the trend is bad. So that's why we can buy here. When you see the extreme out of balance is the other thing that I like, because something is out of balance, then people will try to bring it to the balance, right? If everybody, let's say if your kid or my kid is like crying, you try to bring him back, calm down, like so that kind of action will happen. So you don't actually go make him even more mad, right? So this is what the out of balance is. So at the same time, like if he is like a too happy and not staying and playing and mischievous, then you do the other thing. You try to control, bring back under the balance. So that is what the balancing act is. Always happen in the market, but it will happen on its on the market terms, not on our terms. So it is out of balance, let's bring it to the balance. No, it won't happen like that. So there is a reason why it went out of balance, but if it is a quality stock, it comes in balance. So once it comes in balance, may it will go out of balance again. So you can make a trade in the meantime, like if it is extreme. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So at the same time, when it is extreme, don't try to bet a big position. So all we need is like a quick gains on a small position. So that is one of the ways to identify the trade. So you have to identify a trade, right? So that is all about the trading. So how do you identify the trade is based on some kind of analysis that you do. This is my way of doing it, but you can pick up something else on a day trade basis. Also, you can see this chart is like this is a day trade on a hourly basis. This is a 5-minute chart. On the 5 minutes, there is a clear break on this line, this downtrend line. So this is a good point to buy. So till this line breaks here. So again, this is a good point to buy till this line breaks here. So or you can use like a 65 minutes chart. The only thing is you have to keep following, because like you buy here and you don't exit here, it might fall. Same thing, you buy here and you don't exit, it will fall. So this is a 65-minute breakout. Right now it did give a 65-minute breakout here, right? This green dot which was on the up, it came down, which means the trend is up. So this is a very good entry till this green line goes up. So when it will go up, this price comes and breaks it, then it goes down. So that's when the green dot comes up here on the top of the price. So that is when the trend is negative. So till then you can buy and sell it, or you can buy and sell anywhere on a short-term basis. So that's one indication to play on a daily basis, right? If you want to do some kind of a day trading. But only thing is you have to be on top of it. You have to monitor 65 minutes, or this is like a ADX line, like we talk about. This is the RSI, and this is a CMF. CMF is money flow. So on balance volume is going up. So which means, let me see what happened in the 30 days. I'm just telling you for day trade, it's not for everyone. So this is what happened in the last 30 days on a hourly chart. It's like a 65 minutes chart. Why 65 minutes? Because there are like a 6 hours 30 minutes So 65 minutes means it gives like a 6 bars per day. So which is like 60, instead of 60 minutes, 65 minutes is much better. Okay. So here, this dot happened here. So once you buy, this dot is broken down and it started going down here. So you can sell here. So this is a buy point and this is a sell point. And this is a buy point, this is a sell point. And again, the strength did not stay for even two dots. So because this is, this line is like up and down, up, because the next line that is not strong enough to break the next this line, so it immediately lost the strength. The next line is not strong enough to break this high, then it went down. The next line is not strong enough to break this line, it went down. So the finally this line is able to break the previous high. That's when the strength started coming back again. So it went up. So this line, it broke this line, so it went up. It fell below this, but it is able to come and break this up. So got a now a better price here. So this line is much better because it did not go down much and immediately started. So here people eye that it is going to break this one. So once it is break, so see the way it broke. It's a gambling basically, right? They see that, oh, this is the price, this is the price. The next day morning they took up. So they took it up and they broke this price. So which means that there is a lot of strength. Even though there is a severe weakness here, now this line is not able to go down of this line, right? This line. So immediately it started picking up the strength. So this is some kind of analysis that you do on a daily time frame. So now it went up. You have to see next pullback. You have to wait now, right? You don't want to buy here because this is already up, because this line is continuing up. You don't know if it goes here and break, or tomorrow morning with the news it may come down again, right? If it breaks here, that means it's a negative. Like say, let's say if it comes all the way to here, like 405 is the next support, very good support. Oh, this is a SPY, not Tesla. Okay, so this is how it on a hourly basis, on a short-term daily basis. This is how it is acting. This is a Tesla, so it's able to break this. So this is the support here. So immediately people started buying. And now this line is not able to break this one. So immediately it stopped here. This happened in this period. That means the previous low was better than the current price is better than the previous low. People started taking it up. So the green dot here is we call it as a parabolic SAR, SAR. These dotted lines of the parabolic SAR basically determines the, like the resistance. So this is and you can add a zigzag here. The zigzag lines tell you clearly, oh, this high. So we got this low here, and it got a parabolic support also, like this line dotted the support, and this is much better than this price. So there is still some strength. Let it push it up, push it up, push it up. Okay. So the 65-minute chart is better, I guess. But if you want, people trade on what do you call the people trade on the MACD or even the SMS EMA 5 and 30 crossover is another. See this is EMA 5 crossing EMA 13. This crossing is very good point for entry. Okay, see that the EMA line, the 5 line is a nice support here. It is taking up. Okay, so here the 5 is crossing. So which is so the 5 crosses on the downside, people avoid. You have to wait for the 5 crossing the 13 on the upside. So that is and you can see the direction of these lines. If these two lines are going down, There is no strength. If these two lines are going up now, any pullback people buy, unless and until these two lines turn, like on the other side. So see, you have to basically have a mindset of a trader to play in the market. You have to determine if it is a daily tail trading or a swing trading or even the long-term trading. Is the trend is down? First thing, where are the supports? Where is the resistance? What is my position? How much I enter? When should I enter? When should I exit? So you try to get answers for these things. This is like an exercise, okay? You should have that continuity. The more important thing, the more the daily trading you trade, you need to have the continuity of the thoughts. You cannot take a break. If you take a position, like you have to exit it, then take a break. Otherwise, you take a position here and then you took a break and the stock went down because the trend lines are totally changed. The story is totally changed. Like the movie, like if you see like a first 30 minutes, later and the last 30 minutes first, you don't understand the movie, right? So this is also the same thing. Oh, this is what happened previously. So this is what is happening now. And this is what happened. This is what might happen next. So if you don't have that continuity, then you cannot trade on a daily basis. So you have to build that continuity important. It is important for daily also, but for short term on a daily basis, intraday trading, it's very, very important. Okay. So and how much capital you are assigning and whatever gains that you come and you take it, like you keep a stop loss or you exit by yourself or whatever it is, right? You can do that. So hopefully this helps. And I'll try to give these indicators. I already told you about here in stock charts. You can save your chart also. A particular chart, let's say I save for Shopify. You can trade some, like just like that. You can save the chart. You can try something else like Zscaler. Then I can say save as it saves as a Zscaler chart. So next time I can just go and open that stock and it will have all the indicators ready for you, like SPY chart. You like this chart and you can put it for Tesla and you can save for Tesla as well. Okay, so save as Tesla. It will save as a Tesla. Next time you open your Tesla stock, the Tesla chart, you have all the indicators for Tesla here. Okay. Yeah, this is basically you try to look for, like figure out the trend and based on the indicators and all that and see, sometimes the volume helps, sometimes the cloud helps, sometimes, like you diagnose more with all, it's like a clinical, right? You're going for a physical. They're going to do everything like a blood test on every, like vitamins and all that, right? So you have to diagnose that, then you get a better treatment. So this is also same thing on weekly, how it is looking, on a monthly, how it is looking, on a daily basis, how it is looking. So then you get kind of an idea. Your FOMO will come down. Oh, it can still come down even though the Tesla is a good company. So that kind of analysis is very, very important. Okay. So any questions you have, or you can stop here. Try to see if we can have some other topic next week. Right, guys, it's more than yeah.
Pawan, I have a question.
Okay.
How do you arrive at the time-based targets? Like you will say like 3 weeks or 4